Hey, welcome back, everybody. It's time again to ride along on the Pedego podcast and the e-bike revolution. Join us each week as we talk with the entrepreneurs behind this movement and the love stories of those just riding along. Brought to you by Pedego Electric Bikes. Well, today we're privileged to have with us somebody who's literally on the trail right now as we talk. We're talking with the one and only Kara Dietrich. Did I say Dietrich right? I wanted to say Dietrich, but I said Dietrich.
Dietrich, that's perfect.
Okay. Well, you're just out there going across America here, I guess. You're riding an e-bike. You're riding a Pedego.
We have an RV and we're out riding our bikes around.
So, Kara, they tell me that you are a passionate Pedego bicyclist. Do we call them bicyclists? You're a bicycle rider. You're a passionate Pedego rider and an e-bike enthusiast. Yeah, you're the first we've had on the show. Welcome.
Thank you.
What?
I guess you could say I am, but I don't know. The bikes just speak for themselves.
They do it for some, but there was something they didn't know. They didn't just come to your house and knock on the door. Somehow you sought out an e-bike. Tell us that story. How you came to discover an e-bike.
They actually almost did. My girlfriend knew that I love bikes. I would ride my bikes around our 40 miles of trails we have in our community.
Which is Houston, by the way. You're in suburban Houston somewhere, right?
Yes, Fulshire.
Okay, all right.
And there was a new bike shop that came to town, and my friend said, you need to check this out. So one day I went in, and that was it. I met Amanda, and it was like we had known each other forever. It was an instant connection. It was really cool. I was wearing a skirt that day, so I didn't actually try the bikes.
Okay.
But I booked one of her foodie tours.
A foodie tour? What the heck is a foodie tour? They're just bicycle dealers. What are they doing foodie tours, and what the heck is that?
It is like a group ride. You just book a group ride, and they'll take you through the community, and you stop at all these different restaurants along the way, and you have a little bite to eat and a glass of wine.
Oh, man.
And finish off with fajitas and margaritas.
When can I ride along? When can I go? That sounds
Anytime.
Too cool. All right, so I'm this guy, skeptical guy on the outside, scratching my head saying, when did e-bikes become a movement? When does it become a revolution? When did they suddenly start getting passionate followers like you and so many who just sing the praises of not just the product, but the whole idea of riding an e-bike? Well, how did you come to be an enthusiast here? Or how did you come to be a revolutionary?
Well, apparently Pedego is 8 or 10 years old. I think I was late to the party.
Yeah.
But I just went into the shop, rode the bike, and that was it. I couldn't put it away. I had to have one. I've had mine for September. It'll be 2 years.
2 years. Have you ridden bikes throughout your life, or did you, like so many of us, give them up at some point in time? That's for kids. That's not for me anymore here.
No, I rode my bike right up until the day I traded it in for this electric beauty here.
And there it is. That's your bike right there.
And it's so much easier.
Now, tell me you didn't give it a name. Tell me it doesn't have like some personal name to it or something here.
Well, apparently you're supposed to. I haven't really yet, but I've kind of tossed around the idea of calling her Dolly.
Dolly?
Because I just love Dolly and I just love my bike. And
okay,
like
so
Dolly.
you and Dolly go out in the world here. No, I hear people do it like cars. You know, when I was a kid, we named our car.
Yes.
That was, we had a connection. This isn't just tool. This is a part of me here. This is my friend. All right. So how did you make and why did you make the conversion from? Because let's be honest, there are many people out there in the traditional bike world, not just Pedego, all e-bikes, and they kind of turn up their nose at the bike shops and say, "That's not a bike. Come on, I don't know what it is. It sort of looks like a bicycle, feels like a bicycle, but it's not." You know, the bent over handlebars, serious bike rider stuff here. Did you feel any of that? And when you first picked up an e-bike, did you turn your nose up at it, or did you just said love at first sight?
Okay, so I tried it, and it was love at first sight. Anyone that says anything negative, they haven't tried it.
I think that's it.
I would ride my bike, my regular bike, everywhere, pulling the dog trailer up and down hills, and then my knees would hurt so bad I could barely walk.
Yeah.
And
a dog trailer, that's like when the little dog rides in the back, a little caboose or something here. Yeah, right.
So it makes the regular bike even heavier. So you put the electric on here, and you can ride it like a regular bike, but then you can have the pedal assist that gives you that slight little boost up each hill.
There you go.
And it just takes all of the pressure off your knees. It's fabulous. Or you can go all in and just ride it like a little motor scooter.
You can ride it, yeah. You can do that, or you can just
Yeah.
turn it off and just ride it around like a bike. This isn't to say you have to use the electric power. It's an assist. It's there.
Exactly.
And what does the electric
Yep.
power give you? It clearly gives you a boost in those times when you need it, when we're struggling to go up a hill or whatever. What else does it give you?
Yeah. The pedal assist will go from pedal assist 1 to 6, and 1 and 2 is just very casual cruiser bike. So
Right.
you just ride along, and then anytime you start to slow down below whatever mile it is that pedal assist will take you, it'll give you that extra boost.
I
So if
see.
you're riding along and all of a sudden you get tired and you slow down a bit, it'll kick in and help you.
But does it
So
let
you
it?
could literally ride for miles.
That's
and
what I was
not get
getting at.
tired.
Does it let? Everybody seems to think it. I guess it does. It lets you go farther. Otherwise,
Yeah.
I'm limited not just by how far I can ride out, but I'm always thinking, how am I going to ride back? That's what gets me about bike riding. Love the idea going out, not so thrilled about
Yeah.
the idea coming back.
And that's the thing. If you don't want to ride back at all, you just put your thumb down on that thumb throttle and off you go. Just sit back and chill.
My wife and I live in Southern California, in Orange County here. We've got a grown daughter now, but years ago she had a bike, and we all had a bike, and we would take it down into, because we live at like the back of a canyon, so like it sounds like what you've got, there's trails down there and everything, and we'd ride. We thought this was really cool. We bought some bikes, some mountain bikes,
Right.
and we went down there. We stopped doing it because of the ride back. The ride down was fun. The ride back was
Yeah.
painful, particularly
Yes.
for over a certain age. Even the kids.
Yeah, exactly.
And so we used to literally park our car down sort of at the end of this trail so we could load them up and ride home. And I've always felt embarrassed by it. I thought there's got to be a better way. And you've
There it
discovered
is,
it. Yeah.
Pedego.
Pedego. Let's go with a Pedego.
Sure.
So where do you go with a Pedego? How often do you ride? When do you ride? Where do you ride?
All right. If I'm just at home, we live in a community, like I said, with over 40 miles of trails.
Wow.
I will ride my bike 2 or 3 times a day, probably, on just little short rides around the
2
community.
or 3 times a day? I thought you'd say 2 or 3 times a week, and I thought I'd be impressed with
A
that.
day. I'm a stay-at-home retired mom.
Right.
So I have nothing better to do but get out on my Pedego and ride around. And then on weekends, we'll pack it up in the back of the truck and head off to one of the many trails we have in Houston. Or we'll take out the RV and go experience something
So I want to touch on all of those. You're breaking
We're
up
in
a little.
Brent right now. It's country of Texas.
Yeah. I know. We'll talk about Texas and everything. In fact, let's do that, because Texas. I don't want to sound like a snooty Californian, but Texas to me doesn't sound like bike riding country. It's rodeo country. It's truck country here. What are they doing with those dang bikes over there? Am I just watching too many movies here, too many westerns, or is this bike country back there too?
Yes. Yes, sir. Too many movies. The communities have beautiful riding trails, and they put hills and lakes and ponds and trees. It's fabulous. And Houston even has a lot of beautiful trails, but hill country, which is 2, 3, 4 hours away, depending on where you want to go.
That's
from
Austin
where
and
we
all that
live,
kind of stuff.
They
And
are
yeah.
just amazing. Yes.
So
That's the area we're in right now, and there's so many beautiful trails.
So I'm hearing this all across the country. This isn't just a West Coast thing. Oh, those crazy Californians, or Oregon, they've gone crazy and put bike trails everywhere. This is everywhere. There are people riding these all across America.
Yes. And there's a bike store in Calgary I've seen on the
Calgary,
Instagram.
Yeah. There's another place I wouldn't think, wide open plains up in the Calgary Stampede, and they're going to be riding bikes up there. So is it, what attracts people to it? Is it getting outdoors? Is it the communal aspect of it? I think that's a big part of it. Other reason I stopped riding a bike because I was doing it alone. It's the reason I stopped riding a stationary bike. This isn't much fun alone. Good exercise, but it wasn't a group activity, or it didn't seem like a group activity. Is that one of the things, the social aspect? You're taking foodie tours. You're taking it around the campgrounds and stuff here. Yeah.
And I do ride alone a lot, but I can also do a tour anytime someone wants to sign up. I'll take you out on a tour, or just give you a
shout. You're ready to go.
Yeah. I love it. I love having new friends to take out and show them these bikes. I don't know. I want everyone to experience them, whether you buy them or not. You can rent them.
You can rent them.
So it's
That's the genius of what Pedego did. I mean, they built a heck of a product. Everybody says you go online. I've never heard a bad word about the product. They're sturdy. They're well built. They're fun. They're stuff. I get all that.
Yep.
I get the appeal of it, but the continuing use of it. I got a million other things I thought were fun and cool that's sitting in the garage and nobody's used them in a long time, like that exercise gym thing or whatever that I bought, and I thought that was going to be cool, or 100 other things.
Yeah.
I think I bought
They're
a
not as
canoe
fun.
once, and that lasted about one season, and I gave that away in classified ads. So that we have the desire to be out and active. I think us more than most, not just baby boomers, but up and down. But we especially, you know, we're aging differently. I got a few years on here, and I don't think I'm done having fun yet here.
No, and you don't need to be. And the great thing is, like, you have family come visit and you want to do something, and maybe they're too old to walk around your neighborhood to see everything. You just go rent some. It's just great. You don't have to have a garage full of bikes.
Is it
You can
true
rent them
that
for the day.
Is it true that you never forget riding a bike? Can Grandma get on the bike? She hasn't been on 30 years.
I'm pretty sure. We also have tricycle ones. They're called trikes. So it's a 3-wheeler, and you can
Okay.
put all your groceries in the back.
How cool
Can't
is
fall
that?
off. It's
How
great.
cool is that? All right, so
Yeah.
you stumbled onto this thing. You had been riding bikes, and now you ride them 2 or 3 times a day. I got to wrap my head around it. Everybody goes,
Again, we're
where?
in Texas. The weather is always beautiful. So if it's a rainy day, I get sad I don't get to go out. But, you know, most of the time I can go out at least once a day.
And what's the typical bike riding gear? Do you have to get all? Do you have to have bike clothes? Do you got to look the part? You got to have special things. You got to have a helmet, I suppose. But you got to have what else? You got to have to get out in the
I try
world.
to wear my helmet, but do you see this fancy hat here?
I know it's
This
pretty
isn't
cool.
the helmet, but I have 2 helmets that look just like this.
They make a
It says
helmet that looks
Cross-
like that?
Yes.
You're kidding me. They make a helmet that looks like a sun hat. Oh, I got to get one of
Yes.
those.
Can
Yeah.
I give a shout out to the company?
Sure. Yeah, please.
It's called Bike Pretty, and they're
Bike Pretty.
fabulous. It's a regular helmet, and then you get these covers that go on so you can ride with your flowers in your basket looking all pretty.
You just solved my
Fabulous.
number one problem. I can't get my wife on. It's her hair. She's got to put the helmet on. She she wants to be safe. She wants to put a good example for the kids and the grandkids. We have grandkids.
Yeah.
But she doesn't like riding that helmet on. Doesn't like how it looks. And if she could dress it up, that would probably answer the whole problem right there.
The other great idea for a helmet, we have these Bluetooth helmets called Sena helmets, and it's game changing when you go with someone else because, I mean, you can go 20 miles an hour on these bikes.
Yeah,
So
it's
you
really,
can't
yeah.
typically hear each other with the wind whipping past you and whatnot. So to be able to communicate through the helmets, it's amazing.
So you know what you're starting to sound like, don't you? You sound like all my old buddies that are addicted to Harleys, the Harley hogs, the bike, the real bike guys, these guys that have, corporate jobs by day, and then they're out to, born to be wild on the weekend, and they got this loud machine, and they're cranking it up and taking these long rides. I know a bunch of guys like that. You guys are starting another similar. There goes those
Pedego
bikers.
bike gang.
Yeah. The bike gang.
It's
There
so
they go.
true. And everybody customizes their bike, so you just don't buy it really off the rack. You pick one, and then you add your fenders and baskets and hand grips, seats, anything, you name it.
So
You
we're
jazz
back
it
to
up to be your bike.
So we're back to being 12 again, when I had to put special streamers on my bike, and then my buddy had to put a playing card so it went click, click, click or something, and we all had to trick it out somehow here. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. So
And then at Christmas time, we've got the lights around the spokes, so it's all lit up.
Oh, come on. You
Fabulous.
guys are way too cool. Wait, you're having way too much fun with this thing. Now, there is a group, though, that once in a while, aside from FUN, these 3 letters that I keep hearing over and over again, fun, fun, fun. I said, what is it about the bike? It's fun. Why do you like selling the bike? It's fun. How do you sell the bike? It's fun. Okay, I'm beginning to get it. It's fun. I get it. But there's actually some serious uses for it. Amanda and Jason were on talking about selling them to cops, crowd control, and getting through the crowd easier and faster and responding quicker.
Yeah.
Talk about, I'm told that either you participated in or you knew about a group that went out looking for somebody lost out in the woods or wilderness.
That was actually me. It was in our community. I heard about this old guy who went out for a walk and he got lost and they hadn't seen him. And I had recently just rented one of Jason's bikes
Hmm.
and Amanda. And I called him up and said, I know you're closed, but look, do you think there's a way we can maybe get some of these bikes and get people on them so we can go look for this guy? Because we could cover way more
Yeah,
ground looking
makes so
for
much
him
sense.
on a fast bike than
Yeah.
walking.
Yeah, makes so much
Yeah.
sense. So, what did they say? What happened? Did you go? Did people
Oh,
respond?
it was really quick notice. I was able to gather up to one girlfriend that was able to come, and then Jason, and he let us take the bikes, and we went out for hours. We were out there riding all over in the grass and the weeds and trying to find this guy.
Did
So
any luck?
he,
Did you find
he
him or
didn't
no?
even care about the bikes. It was
Just
they did. They found him. He was
wow.
actually found pretty close to where we were, so we were really close.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
he survived. He was very dehydrated, but
So think
he
about
was out
that.
there overnight.
All these kids, we live in Southern California. They're not only open areas where they can't build the canyons and the hills and all that kind of stuff, which we like, which we turn into trails. Sounds like what you're doing in there, or a little further in the hill country and all these places. Hilly
Yep.
areas and filled with lots of bike trails and walking trails and horse trails and stuff. But people do fall down the canyon. They get lost overnight.
Oh,
They're hiking. They slip, and they're always trying to find these people. And it's a massive effort, and it usually is on foot. If we could use e-bikes, I never thought of that. How much more ground we could cover and much more quickly.
exactly.
Yeah.
And you could easily attach some kind of a trailer to pull somebody on if you had to,
There you go. Look at that little
like they do on the
emergency.
ski hills.
There you go. So now we got a new business. We've got the emergency
Yeah,
responders here, and so you're all like
right.
I don't know what the correct term is, but you're all some, quick responders or emergency responders. No, the people that go and fight fires, they get called in the middle of the night and they leave their job and go jump and fight a fire. You could have this whole Pedego brigade ready to go at a moment's notice
You
here.
could, yeah.
All right. So what would you say to anybody out there? Because you're sold. You're into it. This is your lifestyle. You're building your life
It
around it.
is.
Do you pick friends because of it? Have you let other friends go? No, they don't want to do it either. You're not my friend anymore.
Okay,
And
well,
have you found new friends because of it?
I actually have a spare bike that I call my buddy bike because a lot of people don't have them, or
Sure.
they don't have time to ride bikes all the time, or just they haven't listened to me yet and got in there to buy their own. So I was like, oh, no excuses. I have a bike. Come, let's go for
I
a
got a
ride.
buddy bike. Come on, be my buddy. Here we
Yep,
go. So have you formed new friendships out
exactly.
of this, out of the rides or the community? Because it sounds like it's a
Of
community. It's
course.
not a solo experience as much as it's a communal experience, getting you
No,
out in a community.
everyone that I've met, I have had a relationship since with them. We talk on Facebook or text, or some have even gone out for rides with. It's really nice. People
Okay.
that I might not have ever met otherwise.
Yeah, that's what I'm
And
saying.
yeah,
Right. I think of it. For a long time when I was younger, I was a runner, and then my knees started to give
yeah.
out, and that was the end of that because I pushed them too hard.
Hmm.
But there was a fanatical group of us that find each other, and we'd run for miles, and we'd get out there and do this.
Yes,
It seems that
yes.
same kind of dedicated group, but you're having
Hmm.
more fun at it than we did. We were huffing and puffing. You guys are riding to food stores and having margaritas. Yeah, that's it.
Well, and that's what's great for people with knee problems.
Yes.
Oh, were we?
Yep.
The bikes are great for people with knee problems.
I agree,
I
and that's
myself have sore knees, so it works great.
really I can't I'm trying to think why I stopped riding a bike. One, I grew older, and so that's for kids, I guess. Two, we did try and pick it up again when we moved near this thing and
No.
did it for a while, but it was hard. And I thought that was good because it's good exercise, but it wasn't as much fun as I thought. It was too much of the hard stuff, mostly coming
Right.
back. And I don't know, somewhere along the way, my knees hurt, whatever, I just gave up. And you guys are getting me
Hmm.
inspired to go back out and try it again here.
Well, it just makes it fun. You can't wait for the next day so you can get up and go on an adventure.
There you go. That
It's great.
FUN word. It's all down to fun, isn't it? Hello, fun. Well,
Hello, fun.
hello to Kara, and thanks for coming on. What would you say to anybody who still hasn't caught the bug yet, hasn't found the fever, hasn't found they've heard it, they've listened? What would you say to them?
I'd say just go into your local Pedego shop and give it a try. They'll even give you a free ride.
Really?
There's,
That
it's
simple.
really no excuses. Give
No
it a shot.
excuses. Yeah, I'm trying to come up with one reason not to do it. I can't come up with it. And the Pedego shops are everywhere. They got, I think, 200 of them roughly or something around the country. So they must be all over the place. Uh,
They're everywhere now. It's
everywhere
great.
now.
And that's another good reason to buy the Pedego, because if something goes wrong, you have people right there close by to fix it and help you out.
I can't disagree, because I think that's part of the problem. I've looked at some of these things, and a couple $1,000s maybe or something, and I'm going to buy it from some unknown company in the middle of China here, and okay, great, has all the features I want, but it breaks or something happens, or I need a repair, or I need a fix. I don't know if the local regular bike shop.
Or you just have questions.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to go to a real dealer, and I'm stunned and shocked that more of these major manufacturers haven't gone that route. But I suppose they think, dealers, who needs dealers? We got the internet now. But that's great for selling, but it's not great for servicing, not if you're a consumer. When you take your bike out on the road, do you ever stop at other Pedego stores as you go around in your RV?
I actually do.
Oh, come on. Come on.
We make a point when I'm in another city. When I was in Galveston and San Antonio, we stopped in there. I introduced myself and said hi to everybody. We did.
And what do they say? Do they say, "Why are you here, lady? Where's this Galveston? We already own a bike. Get out of here." I don't. For example, I have a whatever kind of car I have. I have a little Kia that I drive. I inherited. Okay, and so I drive this Kia. I don't stop at the Kia dealer when I go to some other city. Hey, I just wanted to check you out and see how you doing. I got a Kia too. Look at me. They'd look at me like I was nuts.
I don't know. Maybe you could start a fad.
I could start a fad. I'm just going to visit.
I don't know. It's just you want to meet the other owners.
Yeah, that's it.
And check out the bikes they have. And it's just fun.
So, Kara, I got a challenge for you here as we wrap up. I think that you and those you know should take a road trip across the state, across the country eventually. And just like, there are people who are so fanatical about baseball, they got to visit all the baseball stadiums, or they got to go to all the national parks, or they got to stop at a pizza place in every town. There's some, this is the trip. We're going to go see all the Pedego stores across America. I think you'd be the first. Maybe not.
I would definitely try.
All right.
If there's one close by, I stop in. So.
Well, I think we should give you a little roving reporter. We should give you a little set like I've done, and we should have you as you're riding around the country, calling in.
Oh my gosh.
Kara is reporting. Where are you at, Kara? Kara, come in. Can you hear? You're up in Alaska.
I'm in Pedego, Colorado.
Yeah, exactly. I'm in Pedego, Colorado. I'm in Alaska. I'm in Calgary right now, talking to the Pedego store.
Go.
Hey, how you doing? Hey, I love Pedegos. Hey. All right. Well, this is amazing. I still not sure I understand the whole thing. I guess I just got to get on one and find out for myself.
Go for a ride.
That's it.
You won't stop smiling.
All right. Well, thank you for not stopping to smile today here, and for stopping. I feel bad. I interrupted your ride. Go finish your ride there, and go have a good time. Thank you so much, Kara.
No problem. This was great.
Kara.
Thanks for having me.
All right. Thanks so much here. All right, folks. There you have it. We're talking about the Pedego podcast and the e-bike revolution. Really, join us. There are passionate people out there, entrepreneurs behind this movement, and the love stories of those riding along, having fun. Maybe it should be us. Brought to you by Pedego Electric Bikes. For more information, simply visit pedego.com. That's Pedego, Pedego.com.